Hi, this is JC with Beyond 20, and today we're going to take a look at ServiceNow and creating a basic inbound action. And what the inbound actions are just going to be how ServiceNow captures emails and does something. So, in a previous video, we've looked at the differences between Cherwell and ServiceNow, but we haven't actually created anything. And so, let's go ahead and create an inbound action. The first thing we're going to do is in our filter navigator, we're going to go search for inbound action. You can see I've got this one favorited. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to create a net new one. You can also copy previous ones if you'd like, but for this case, I'm just going to create a full new one. So we're going to give it a name, and for this name, I'm going to call it, let's see, my test beyond 20. Target table, we are going to create an incident. It's going to be a record action, application global. We want to set this to active, and we want to stop processing. So if you don't have this checked, then it'll continue running through your inbound actions based on your execution order. It can be helpful. It depends on what you're doing. For the most part, oftentimes I'll just use the stop processing. Because it's a demo instance, I'm going to say this is going to execute first, and then this is going to be a new. I'm not going to reply or do a forward. And then we come into the conditions. All right. So this is going to be um, really how we tell the different email addresses. So in ServiceNow, basically what's recommended is that if you've got multiple email addresses, you have those set a forward onto it to your ServiceNow email address. Um, ServiceNow doesn't, you can go and connect to it through POP3, but it's not really the greatest. It's not really recommended. The easiest way to do it is if you have different email addresses, have those forward onto. And then what you can do is based on those email addresses, you can have this to condition and then contains and then whatever that email address is, so that if you have a specific email address, for instance, maybe some of your emails are going to a corporate account versus some of them are going to a retail account. Based on what email people are sending it to, you can then filter those out, change what teams they're associated with, and that kind of thing. So in this instance, I'm going to be pretty basic here and say if to contains, this is my demo instance, and then let's go to actions. Here's where you choose what happens. So for the fields, I want, let's see, color is from email the sender. I want the description to be the body of the email. The short description, I want that to be the subject. And maybe I want to set an assignment group. It's not going to be from the email, it's going to be to. And I'm going to set this to the audit people. And then, let's see, let's take a look. Is there anything else I would like here? Do an impact. I can set a location, on hold. I mean, this will show you all of the fields that are there. It doesn't look like there's really anything else I want to set at this time. One thing to note, you can do related fields as well. So if you have something that's related, you can, if you by clicking on this, you will be able to see those as well. Yeah, that's all I want to add here. So we'll exit out of this. Alternatively, you could script it here. When talking with ServiceNow a little while ago, they recommended that either you script it or you use the field actions. Do not do both, just because it can cause confusion within the system. I've never had an issue with any of it, but it's just a recommendation. And the last thing here is to add a description. I'm going to go ahead and save this quick. And then my description, this is my test inbound action. I'll save it again. All right. So now I also just sent an email. So I'm going to take a look at the emails here. See, the email did come in. I paused it just to save some time, but my email did come through. Let's take a look at the logs of this email. Okay, so here we can see that it processed my test beyond 20, create incident, and then it gives me the incident number. And I'm just going to copy that. So here, for troubleshooting purposes, you can see any of the inbound actions that triggered or didn't trigger. Usually this list will be a lot longer, but because I had this process at the execution order on number 1, it triggered right away. And so we'll go to this incident. And we can see my short description is the test, the description is the body, the assignment group is audit. So all those fields that I added in that inbound action do show up on the form itself. So that's how to create just a really basic inbound action. They're super helpful if your organization uses email. If not, if you use Portal, then that's great too. But it's nice that you can attach this to any table in the system and specify it, and you can get really kind of into the nitty gritty of what you can do with it. And when all else fails, if the UI doesn't have everything you need, you can always go to scripting. So thanks. That's all I've got today, and thanks, and have a great day. Bye.